Hi, hello, how you guys doing? You guys doing? Let's try that again. Hi, how you guys doing? You guys fine? You guys doing Daisy? So yeah, today I want to talk about something that it's been haunting me for a little while already. People have been asking me in stream a lot, why do I like Yumiko so much? Because everybody who knows me, I'll show you guys. People have been asking me, why do I like Yumiko so much? Because as you guys can see, my Yumiko is level 54. She's my highest leveled legend. Which is weird, because I don't generally play only one legend. I'm very jack of all trades. Look at that. Diana is 36, Finn is 36, Brax is 35. So yeah, look at this, 41, 36. So I play a lot of things, and Yumiko is actually the leading thing. The only reason why I haven't been playing Yumiko a lot lately is because I've been having a lot of fun with Scythe. That's why Mordex is 53, right on the border of that. And when I saw that, I actually thought about, I'm gonna go back to playing Yumiko, because Yumiko needs to be my most played character. And for Yumiko, I have every single color so far, and I have every single skin so far. I own all of that, because Yumiko is my favorite character. And you might be asking me, why do you like Yumiko so much? Are you a fucking weeb? And to that I say, maybe. But actually, the real reason why I like Yumiko so much is because she has the most unique weapon in the entire game, which is the hammer. You might be looking at me like right now and saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Like 10 other characters have hammer. And to that I say, yes, but Yumiko's hammer is different. It's built different. It's very, very different. And I'll show you why. First of all, let's talk about the fact that she is probably the quickest hammer in the entire game. No other character has this much speed, and no other character has this much dex on hammer. She's the only character that has these attributes, these high attributes on these specific weapons. Second of all, down sig. Look at this thing. This thing is probably I don't know how to explain it. It's literally an area denial attack that you can move during it. Look at that. I can toss that and just yeet myself off the ground, and people can come through to go after me because I denied this area to them. And other characters like Ogrim. Where is Ogrim? God damn it. I should have prepared this better. Hopefully Ogrim is close. Yes, Ogrim should be close. There we go. So yeah, Ogren has area denial. Look at this. He's denying that area right now. You can hold this for as much as you want. Ragnar can do the same thing with the axe down sig. However, I'm locked in place. I can't move while I'm doing this. I'm denying this area, but I am stuck in this area. So if people want, they can just go around and beat the shit out of me. However, Yumiko is the only character that has something like this. I'll actually go to Sidra, because Sidra has something interesting, which is almost similar to this, but not really. I'll actually turn on hitboxes so you guys can see this. When Sidra has cannon, she's one of the few characters that can have 2 hitboxes in the screen at the same time. Look at this. Look at that. Sidra can have, you guys probably can see my mouse, but you have the cannonball hitbox all the way over there, and you can have the neutral light coming all the way down here. So you're covering 2 areas of the screen at the same time. So if you do this and you someone is trying to approach you from the air and you toss the cannonball and they see that you're using the cannonball because it's very reactable. You can see Sidra charging that up. So you go to the ground and you're gonna do a grounded attack and Sidra hits you with the neutral light. Even though the hitbox is still up there, you guys see what I mean, right? I think Caspian has something like that as well. I am not sure if they took it out. I'm gonna try real quick. Yes, look at this. Caspian also has this idea, but his is a lot more tighter. Caspian's is a lot more tighter. It's a lot more precise to input both the hitbox, and it doesn't last long. But yeah, Caspian can do that as well. So it's very unique. It's not something that many characters can do. But in the case of Yumiko, I passed through her. Where is Yumiko? Yumiko, there we go. In the case of Yumiko, she's so unique on this aspect. Because not only, look at that. Look at how many frames you have 2 hitboxes on the screen at the same time. I can literally put this attack and hit them before these hitboxes disappear, and I finish my attack. With Yumiko, you can even do stuff like this, like put on the hitbox and then yeet people into that, since it lasts a long time. Look at that, that's a 3-piece combo. That's amazing. Because you miss, but then you toss people in the thing and then you grab them. And it's pretty fucking dope. And I'm gonna get into more aspects of that, but let me actually turn on stun so you guys can see some other stuff as well. But yeah, since I said that Yumiko is the only one that's both fast and has high dex, because Cassidy has high dex, but she has 4 speed, which is atrocious in my opinion. She can go to 5, but then you have to read defense or something like that. But yeah, Yumiko is very fast. She's basically the... she would be a perfect defensive character, if you ask me, because of this. And she can deny space. And Hammer is already a weapon to deny space. You can control the stage with your wall of hitboxes, which is this sidelight. Look at this. You just put a hitbox in the face of your opponent. Especially with dash, you can cover so much space. She would be a perfect character for defensive playstyle. But because these things don't do much knockback and they don't deal that much damage, it's actually very good for offensive playstyles as well. Because you can use those things for mania, and I mean mania cool stuffs. You can just, look at that. You can combo into that. You can, I'm pretty sure if you miss this, you can still toss them into that. And the fact that Yumiko doesn't have that much damage, it's kind of not 100% negated. But it's mostly negated because she still has a hammer, so she still has the KO potential on her hands. Because hammer is one of the best KOing weapons in the game. So let's go through the pros of Yumiko. This area denial, I'll cover this a little bit more because the SIG is so unique that I want to talk about it more in more details. But she has area denial, she has the movement speed, 7 speed is absurd. It's awesome to have. It's very hard to predict her movements and her options. And with 7 speed, you can be a defensive character and be very evasive, or you can be a powerhouse into searching for KOs and going after people non-stop and don't stop the aggression and people get uncomfortable, because hammer is already a great weapon at denying space, and she has lots and lots of cool combos. Like if you hit this, you don't even, I'm using it on their face like this because it's the only way for this SIG to pick grounded. But otherwise, people are in the air, you're using this, it's still gonna work if you go with the recovery, you go with the downline. I'm pretty sure you can combo this thing into almost anything out of her kit if you really want to. And it's such an amazing device that any other character has. Because hammer really struggles to hit this 45-degree angle. Because if someone is approaching, supposedly this Breen is not a Breen and it's a Suri with Katars. There we go. Supposedly I'm trying to, this Asuri is trying to approach me and she's gonna use this angle, which is very hard for hammer to cover. Because, oh lord, well, there goes me. But that's a very hard angle for hammer to cover. I think the only other legend that can actually cover that angle quite easily is Cassidy. Because Cassidy has the lasso. What happened here? Oh, I forgot to change back to me. But in the case of Yumiko, you put this out and people just can't approach from that angle. There's no way Asuri can go through that. She can probably toss her weapon, but then I keep the evasion, I go back. So after I use this area denial powerhouse, which is the little orbsies, probably the only option for this Asuri to keep the aggression is to go for the sidelight. However, I know that's the only option she has to keep aggression, so I can just do this. If I do this, where does this Asuri is gonna come and attack me? She can come from upwards, or the diagonal angle. She can come from 90-degree because I have a orb there. She can come for the 45-degree angle because I have orbs there, and she can come from the side because I have a hammer being stuffed into her face. So she doesn't have a way to approach me, and that makes Yumiko's hammer one of the most difficult weapons to approach. Not gonna lie to you and say that if someone gets into you, especially if you're playing hammer, or on the case of bow is hard as well, not as hard but still hard. If Azuri can actually get into my RBZs, then yeah, I'm not gonna do anything about that anymore. So I'm not gonna say that it's easy to deal with, I'm saying that it's hard to approach. But if Yumiko can space you and deny this area and keep bashing the crap out of your face, you're not gonna approach on Yumiko. So she has literally the archetype of the best defense is a major offense, because her defense still deals damage. Her defense still sets up into more damage. And it's a crazy thing to think about. Is this still true? I don't remember if this is still true. Yeah, this is still true. I think that's kind of stupid. That sig is way too powerful for that to be still true. Okay, it's still... Oh, so it has to be stacked. Okay, so it's not as bad. However, it doesn't end like that. Why? Right there. Oh, when I talk about why I love Yumiko so much. I don't think you might be thinking that these RBZs are as cool, but I don't think it's as good as the hammer, because first of all, the RBZs on the floor, people can just jump over them. And you might say just use neutral light, but if you pay close attention, there's still a huge gap between the orbs and the neutral light, and people can still get into that. So it's not as powerful, so I don't think her bow is that strong. But she's still unique in the fact that her SIGs are actually moving her hurt box. Back in the day, this used to be a case where this SIG was very underwhelming, both her neutral and side SIG, because her hurt box would be normal while you were in the SIG. I actually need to turn on hurt boxes because I'm silly. I forgot to do that. Where's hurt box? There we go. But you see that this little circle here is our hurt box. You can see that as soon as she turns into the orb, her hurt box and the hit box of the attack turned into 1. Back in the day, this wasn't the case. This big circle used to be around this SIG. So it was really, really bad. It was a really bad SIG because you were trying to use this to return back to stage. Literally any attack, it doesn't matter which attack, could clash or win against you because your heart box was showing. So it's a pretty interesting case. The side SIG is the same thing, it doesn't change much, but I'm pretty sure the neutral SIG has a lot of force, which is amazing because it's not something that you hit very often. Look at that, it almost killed diagonally, and I'm a 4 attack legend. I'm with 4 attack here. Generally, I run Yumiko at 3 because I prefer 5 defense. I prefer defense over the damage because, as I said, she doesn't struggle as much on KOing because of the hammer. And I'm gonna talk about a little bit more about some stuff with the hammer. But I wanna come into the bow because she has like one less nax on her bow than Koji has. So she still has access to some pretty cool stuff. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be 1 frame. Oh, if I can input it, because yeah, there we go. That's 1 frame. So that's pretty cool. That's only 1 frame for someone to dodge. She has cool stuff like please let me input. She has cool stuff like this, which is 1 frame as well. But I'm pretty sure I can get the down there through as well. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's a 3-piece. I'm pretty sure that used to be 1 frame as well. They nerfed that. Pretty sure about that. The nair into the recovery, neutral light into the recovery. My bad. So she still has all the attributes of bow, all the offensive capabilities of bow. And the only weakness that she has that's different is that, let's say that other bow legends have better suited signatures, I would say. Because if you look at Diana's signature kit, that signature kit is absurd. Everybody knows how powerful the down sig for Diana is because of the angles that it sends people downwards. Everybody knows that neutral sig that covering in the air and the side sig, so you can go side light. I might just changing to Diana to show that. Because you basically play 50-50 with Diana. When you grab the bow, you can go for the side light and then side sig. So if people dodge inwards or backwards, you can go with a side. If people dodge inwards or backwards, you can go for the side sig. So if I set the dodge to neutral works as well, yeah. If neutral, then side sig will still. What the fuck was that? Neutral side sig will still grab. If people dodge either in or out, you still grab them with side sig. If you go left, it's the same idea. So Diana has that 50. Oh, I shouldn't dash. I forgot I shouldn't dash. But you still grab them. So that's pretty cool as well. If they dodge upwards in any way, you can go for the neutral sig. Wait, why are you not dodging up? There we go. You grab them with a neutral sig. Any direction you grab because of the arcing motion of this sig. So Yumiko's capabilities are not as offensive on the bow, but she's still unique in the aspect that her sigs make her move. Her heart box moves, so you can use them as recovering options, which is not common in between bow attacks. And I'm not going to even mention Koji's signature kit, because that's just, you know, humiliating everyone else. And another thing that it's interesting about her signatures is that the fact that since you move with the sig, it's easier to actually keep aggression. If you have Vector and you use his down sig and supposedly you hit, you are here and you send the opponent away. I mean, you can use the same argument for this sig, since it moves Vector with the side sig, so it's easier to keep aggression. You can keep trying to read or going for some attack that you want. It's the same idea. When your heart box moves together with some attack, it makes it easier for you to keep aggression, because I don't need to chase dodge from this position here. I don't need to chase dodge to keep aggression on this opponent. I can just jump and attack. Because this is not relevant to the video, but I'm gonna mention it anyways. But if you chase dodge, you can't dodge for a while. Look at this. It takes a while for you to be able to dodge after the chase dodge. I'm pressing the button. See how much it takes for me to dodge. So that's the downside. So if I use this and the opponent tries to attack me, I can just go for the dodge right away. By no means this signifies that Yumiko is an overpowered character. I'm just citing some of her strengths and something that makes her very unique and not many other characters have. But in the case of Yumiko's hammer, nothing even gets close to what some of her sigs do. First of all, this down sig, we already talked about it, but now I'm gonna talk about the neutral sig. This sig is astonishingly nice because, first of all, it's a grapple. So after you grab someone, it's gonna keep holding to them until the sig is over. It's not like this. It's not a grapple. It just sends people away. So it's a very interesting dynamic in what I'm gonna show you. First of all, it sends in the perfect angle for ledge guarding. What I mean by the angle is perfect for ledge guard is because when you send someone in this diagonal region like this, they have to use the most amount of options to come back. Because if you guys study your geometry and your trigonometry, you know that the hypotenuse, or the diagonal here, is the biggest out of the spaces that you need to travel. You know, you guys remember trigonometry, yeah, you know that. So if you send people in the diagonal, they have to use the most amount of options to come back. So attacks that send into that angle are perfect for, look at that, Zul has to use 2 jumps and a recovery to get to the wall. So, oh, that's not the attack. So if I send them there and then toss my weapon, if I hit my weapon, right, because I suck, but if I don't suck, Zul, can you stop, please? Thank you. So if I toss my weapon now, you see that if they don't dodge, they're dead, because they're on the worst possible spot for them to be down there, to have to come back. So that's another power of this hammer. But since it's a grapple and the hitbox, especially here, I'm gonna show you guys, the hitbox comes all the way up there. Look at that. It's very high. There's actually a little smaller version first. There's a small, and then there's the wide grapple. But since you can do that, there's something that only Yumiko can do. So with Yumiko, because of that option, you have this amazing combo that only works with her, and it's a 0 to death. Depending on the size of the wall of the stage, you have to calculate where you have to be, and I'm not gonna say it's an easy thing to just pull out of the fly, because it only works when people is on 0 damage. Because if you hit the neutral sig early on, you can see that people get tossed mostly downwards, so you can chase dodge into the down air. First of all, if the opponent has a little bit more damage, I mean only 40 damage, let's use this already, you're gonna see that they're tossed more on the diagonal. So right here, you're not gonna hit the down air if you chase dodge downwards, because it's gonna go here and the opponent's going more outwards, let's say like that. However, still, it's an amazing option. I'm not gonna say it's easy to just pull out of the fly. You have to practice it a little bit, and depending on the side of the wall, you need to aim better, because if you go too high, this happens, and if you go too low, it might not even connect. And apparently I connected. And yeah, it's a very risky option. Not gonna lie to you as well. It's a very risky option because you're using your gravity cancel down there. You're using a chase dodge downwards, so you don't have a dodge. And then you have to use both of your jumps and your recovery to come back. If you don't do that, that can be very, very powerful for the opponent to just punish you. So you need to be careful. And then again, it takes a little practice to make it work. But it's a pretty cool option. And the last thing I want to talk about is because I by no means think Yumiko is overpowered. I don't think Yumiko needs a nerf. I don't think Yumiko is even that strong, because we're in the middle of a defense and speed meta. So the fact that Yumiko has a lot of dex, it's not very great for her. And the fact that she has only 4 defense, it's not great for her either. However, what I think is really strong about Yumiko is the fact that she's very adaptable to any circumstance. If someone is aggressing you a lot, you can use your ARBZs, you can use your area denial attacks, you can use these combinations of hitboxes to keep your opponents at bay all the time. You can play defensively with Yumiko. And if your opponent is being very passive, she has the speed and the dexterity and the big combos to wrap that up. And she does relatively well against high defense opponents because of the fact that she has a hammer. Her hammer is not gonna KO as soon as other hammers, but she does have a hammer, which is a very KO heavy weapon. And the fact that she's so adaptable, the fact that she has an option for every single occasion that you might toss into her, it makes it so Yumiko is a very adaptable character, which is basically my way of playing. Let me turn off hurt boxes and hit boxes because it's kind of bothering. So the fact that she is so adaptable, it fits me very well because I like adapting to the way my opponent's playing. If my opponent is playing very aggressively and I'm getting beat, I like to space them out. I like to go for the more defensive approach. And if my partner is going, or rather, if my opponent is very defensive and is playing not that aggressively, I like going after them and taking the control of the match. So that's why I think Yumiko is one of the most unique characters. Her SIG kit and the weapon kit as well, not only the SIG kit, but the weapon kit makes Yumiko very hard to face. Because with bow, you have stage control. This downlight covers an immense amount of range. So whenever people are playing against bow, they generally already are gonna be jumping a little bit so they can avoid this downlight option. And that already makes this stage, you on the stage, a lot more of a powerful presence. And in Yumiko's case, if things are getting hairy, she always has the defensive options. And don't forget that these things, they basically combo in almost any attack of her. Because back in the day, these attacks, I still used to play Yumiko back in the day, but these attacks, the Orbsies, they were very weak. They were almost useless because everybody knew it was easy to just go over the thing and attack, and the damage couldn't be high, otherwise it would be very powerful to have just landmines with enormous amounts of damage on the floor. So they went with the stun route, and that's awesome. And Yumiko has a very cool theme as well, with the fact that she's a yokai, and her lore is pretty cool, but most people who play Brawlhalla don't care about that. But for the lore people out there, yeah, she's a pretty badass girl as well. And the fact that she's blind, so she's one of the characters representing disabled people, which is awesome as well. And many other things that are not kind of relevant and are more my taste than something that's objectively good. That's why I love Yumiko so much. And if that's going to be the case, I might even start trying to take her to Diamond. Because when I started playing Yumiko, I started playing her when I was still in Silver, when she came out. I don't remember when she came out, but I remember that when she came out, I was around Silver, almost at Gold. And me and my friend, we used to play a duo of Yumiko and Ember, which was not a good duo at all, especially in the era that Dash wasn't a thing either. I remember when Dash came out, it was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, Yumiko's a good character. You guys should give her a try if you haven't yet. And she's probably one of the most unique characters you're ever going to find in this game to this date. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, Great Sword is a unique weapon by default. Scythe is a unique weapon by default as well, because of the options and the active inputs. But Hammer is such a normal and basic weapon. It's basically one of the first weapons you should learn, because it's very straightforward, and it's an awesome counterpart to Sword. And it's one of the first weapons to be introduced into the game, or rather, I'm pretty sure it's the second or the first weapon introduced to the game, because Bolvar was the first character. But that makes Hammer such a iconic weapon, and Yumiko just twists the Hammer archetype and gives it a new shine to be happy with. So yeah, you guys should give Yumiko a try if you haven't yet, and you can tell me what you think about her. I don't think I'll do any other specific guides like this. I'm just doing this one in specific because people ask me why I love Yumiko so much and why she's my favorite character, and here I am giving you the little tidbits on information. Anyways, I'll thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Oh yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and look at this graph, please. Yeah, it's a pretty good graph, right? We're back with the memes, baby!